Welcome all to another scene of Salem by Night. Since it just decided not to pick that up, welcome all to another scene for Salem by Night. As with all scenes for Salem, it is highly recommended, no scratch that required, that viewers be over the age of 18 or the age of legal consent in your particular country or area. If you are not, please leave the video now. You have been warned. We open up this scene with a black late model Cadillac pulling up to the Salem Police Department's back entrance, the entrance that police officials utilize. The driver's side door opens and Detective James Blacke emerges as he steps over to the passenger side and opens the passenger door where Miss Lucy, who he has just became aware of, is seated.
Strangely enough, she'll get out the car.
He closes the door back, locking the car behind him as he ushers her into the main part of the police station. She'll go by various desks, various desks. Computers are seated on those desks, laptops. Pretty much everything you've ever seen in Law and Order SVU. He
She's
takes
been
her
to the police station before.
Yeah, but she knows what she knows. He escorts her into a side office where she'll notice that his name is listed on the door of the office. As he opens the door, as you see, he nods to someone else there in the station.
I'm supposing that's me.
Yeah. They're basically telling you to come on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
When
if
you
Paul
look
was there, she
over,
gave him away.
when you look over, you see Mel, and he nods back, and he,
Yeah, she definitely gave him away.
logs off of his computer and starts walking with you. Okay. So, like I was saying, this is the one that we had the report of the property stolen. So, um, I guess let's get this started. Now,
Now, before we
he
do,
looks at, huh?
before we do, Mel, we got
Yeah.
to go through the proper legal channels. She has counsel on the way if they're not already here.
Yeah, I was about to ask her where her lawyer was. Okay. All right.
So I've been
Um.
told she does.
Oh,
Lynn wanted me
Lucy.
to give you something, by the way.
Hmm?
Lynn wanted me to give you something, and she'll rummage
Oh.
in there and pull out a large manila envelope and hand it over. It's the
Um,
result of something.
ST note, Mel Gordon, you would know these are the DNA results you had testing, so you can open it and finally let Mr. Detective Black in on this.
Oh. Okay. He'll take the envelope. He'll actually. It's what he was expecting, so he'll open it up and read it over. And he'll actually show Lucy and point out the particulars. Shows him. Lucy, we show a match here. He points at Estelle. We show a fairly close match here. And looky. Dawn's real name.
Matches to what?
Family. To you.
Oh, and Dawn is on there?
Apparently. She, it's long and convoluted, but it's there.
So I'm
It's
pretty sure, based on this conversation, Detective Black can connect the dots.
Yeah,
yeah.
he
It's
doesn't
like
say anything. He kind of puts two and two together.
it's like 3, 4 generations, something like that, different. but it's there. May want to talk to her in a bit. He'll open up his coat. For once, he's actually wearing a nice suit. And he'll pull open
Holy
his.
shit.
Uh huh.
Holy shit, Walt.
He's actually wearing a black and white with a a red tie with a key on it, a key tie pin on it, and he'll open up his coat and put the envelope in it. We can go over the rest of that later, but you have proof that that was yours, or at least your family. All right. Anyway,
At this point, the three of them would have stepped into Black's office as he shuts the door behind him. Not before looking around though to see if he sees that attorney.
She can arrive now if you want, or you can wait and talk this little situation out.
Well, no, let's go forward to arrive at this point because, like I
Yeah,
said, we
she
got
can
to
show
make pleasantries and whatnot.
Yeah, it's whatever you guys want. Just give me the word when you're ready for me.
Black, having seen this particular lady in the office before her to be bar certified, making the assumption he waves her over.
Well, if he's been dealing with Dawn's case and this is Dawn's attorney, he'd know who she was.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So,
we can say she go ahead and she's arriving a little late, but she's here now, and she'll walk in. She's like in a black pencil skirt, tight leggings, like stockings underneath. She's got slip-on heels and white button-up and a tie. Looks real professional. The only thing that doesn't look professional is even though she tried to put her hair up in like a professional bun, there are still some strands that kind of made their way out.
Black offers her as well as everyone else here as well a chair as he takes his seat behind the desk.
She'll take her chair that it was offered. She'll lay her briefcase in her lap, like lid pointing up in case she needs to whip something out and throw it at Black.
question: is Mel familiar with her?
Probably, at least in passing.
So knows her last name then, or probably first name, either. Okay.
She'll introduce herself. She'll be like, "My name is Magnolia Flint. You detectives may call me Miss Flint if you would like. Maggie, if you want anything informal."
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, first off, I think we need to present this. He pulls out the envelope again now that the lawyer's there and opens it up. Miss Flint, we have this evidence that the stolen property belongs to her, which is part of the reason that all this came about.
Miss Flint will also notice that both detectives here have signed out basically the chain of custody and everything is there too, where it was the property was signed out, and then the our copy of what Lucy gave us, the works.
Her eyes kind of glaze over it. She seems to be reading it, but she doesn't really seem worried about the inventory so much. She goes, "Well, that's good then. This is handled. What does my client need to answer questions on now? Let's get this out of the way, gentlemen."
First, let me first say that we have no intention of using anything that we uncover this evening, or excuse me, it would be this morning in game. Anything we uncover this morning, there's no intention to use against her. So as you know, and Black puts up a hand. Well, first, let me back up. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your last name as he looks over to his paperwork. Um,
Flint.
Vesper? I'm pronouncing that correctly, ma'am?
Oh,
Flint,
the other
yes.
one. The other one.
Vesper.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jess, the other one. Yeah.
Well, first, Miss Vesper, I understand that you apparently you are not from the United States. And that being said, that is why Miss Flint is here this morning, as it is customary in the states here that you have a counsel present during any kind of questioning. This is also not only for us. This is for your protection as well. Now, I'm going to advise you that you do have the right to refuse to answer any questions that we have. Again, like I said, I have no intention, and I'm assuming, and no one in the department that has made it aware to me that they have any intention to use any of the questions that we ask you today against you in any kind of legal argument or any kind of legal charge. That being said, I understand Mr. Gordon has a question to ask you as well regarding a charge after we complete the questions here. What I need from you now, as you see, he slides a document across his desk over to Lucy. Um, what I need from you now, ma'am, is I just need for you to sign the document here. This is pretty much just everything I've already covered. What rights you have and whatnot. I just need you to sign that you understand the rights that you have.
She's going to look at the document and give it a very brief read, and then she'll sign it because presumably the document says what you actually have just said.
Yeah, there's nothing fishy about it.
Okay.
All right. Again, you can stop this questioning at any time. We only have the only reason that I have an interest in you at this point is because I'm under the understanding that you are associated with insert church name here because I never got it that as an employee of the church. Is that correct?
Sure not.
Say again.
Yes. Yes, I am.
All right. And we have some time ago we actually brought in your who I'm assuming to be your employer, the Father Dante. Um, as I'm sure you're probably aware, um, Mr. Dante seems to have escaped our grasp for here lately, and all we're doing now is checking up on people he knew, people he may have had contact with at this point. We just looking for whatever information that you can and or willing to provide. Specifically, we're looking mainly for information about where he may be at this current time.
I have no idea where he is likely to be, but he may be in a lot more places than you might expect. I would not underestimate his capabilities to get anywhere he put his mind to.
So you're saying that he has. So would you be in agreement that he basically has the resources that he could possibly leave the country?
I'm not certain, but I think it likely to be possible. I didn't know
You
him
see
well
Black.
enough before.
You see Black's eyes cuts over to Gordon at that as she all but confirms that question.
I didn't know him well enough to be sure, but from what I did know, and
Possible
in what I
fleeing the
know of the
country.
world, possibilities are quite
You,
broad.
you'll see him pull out a phone. Um, it's a little different from what Lucy's used to seeing.
Mhm.
It's got a thicker case on it, but he'll make some notes. Possible fleeing the country. All right, noted. We'll get that checked out.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? I know you said you did not know the man particularly all that well, but what from what you were able to understand of the gentleman, what would you say a disposition, a what kind of things was any hobbies or interest that you may have known of that he had?
I think I discovered more about his hobbies and interests in the last few days than I did in the time that I otherwise spent in his presence. And I'm sure you have discovered much of the same from your examinations of his collections.
That we have. That we have. That being said, we have had in recent days the capability, or not necessarily the capability. That's not the good word there. We've had the chance to inventory and go through some of those particular items that were recovered from the basement of the church, and we basically have pretty much written those pieces of evidence off as exactly that. And they basically are no longer of interest to us. That being said, um, we plan to release a number of those items to the church within the next couple of days, possibly even this morning, um, provided that you would be able to possibly sign as receiving those items. Understand that Father Dante would be the person who would typically make this signature, but seeing as how he's out of town, that responsibility falls to another employee of the church. And as in our research, you seem to be the only person on the church's records as being employed by them.
Well, I would be happy to sign to say that I have received the items in question, and I will do my best to see that they are stored properly. Um, but I would not assume that merely because he could have left the town or indeed the country that he has.
So, but you do say that it is within your belief that it is a possibility, though.
As I said, I do not doubt that he would be able to get anywhere that he puts his mind to. The question is whether he puts his mind to that.
Black turns his attention to Mr. Gordon for a moment. I know you put in a couple of days ago. You sent me a number of charges
Yes.
that you were thinking of. Any questions regarding that, Mr. Gordon?
Yes, quite. Okay, since we know that the book is yours, or is part of your family's collection, um, we have another number of charges on him already. Would you like to add theft of your property to that? Oh, since it is yours, you are the only one who can press that charge.
I think it might be more accurate to say that he was dealing in stolen property. He said that he bought the book when it was not that person's to sell.
Would you like to bring that charge against him of theft?
It is within your right to do so.
Even if it is a theft by proxy? And
Uh,
if it was stolen by another and he purchased it knowing to have been.
Accomplice to theft.
it's very possible that the gentleman that you say he purchased it from may have been, as Mr. Gordon says here, he may have been accomplice to it. But even if he wasn't, the law does allow for the pressing of this charge under the even if the seller was not aware of its stolen condition, we have reason to believe that the buyer, Mr. Dante, was.
Oh, I know that he was aware of it. He purchased it because it had been taken from my family. At least that was very much the impression that he gave.
So
Same
are we
thing,
to
Black nodding for Mr. Gordon to acknowledge that one as well.
Flint, the lawyer, has leaned over and whispered in Lucy's ear, "Less personal details. Keep the answers simple."
The lawyer is also going to be well aware that dealing in stolen property is its very own charge.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And Mel still has his phone in his hand, and he's just typing with one finger as this is all going on. So okay, selling stolen property. All right, on whoever that is. Purchase of stolen property on him. Okay. Any other charges, Miss Vesper?
She'll look at Mal, and she'll look at the lawyer. She'll look at Mal again.
Uh-huh.
There was the issue of what he paid for them. You did hear that, didn't you?
Right.
But she very specifically does not say what it was.
Yeah. Let's see. Still new to this. More cybercrimes.
I know very well what the charges for that would be. It's just whether they're going to tell him. Whether they're going to tell Detective Black.
Oh. Okay, so Mel will have to do a lookup, but what's the charge?
Well, you've got slavery. You've got kidnapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of that kind of stuff. All that lovely stuff.
Don't know the actual police jargon for it. Law words for it. Will, out of game.
Was it slave? What was
He traded children.
Yeah. Human
say
trafficking.
again?
Human
Yeah,
trafficking.
human trafficking.
Yeah.
There it is. So Mel will think a minute. Oh, right. You want to put human trafficking on him? He'll say this directly to Miss Vesper.
It's out of game note. Black knew about that one.
He did.
Not in detail, but if you remember, that was mentioned.
Okay.
That came across his desk when you sent in the paperwork.
Uh-huh.
He did tell us both that, and others that were there, that this is what he paid.
Mm-hmm.
If the
Done.
detectives were there, Miss Vesper, I don't think you need to press these charges yourself.
Yeah. Already done. Just made a double note of it in case it's not in the system yet.
Of course, Mr. Gordon here would know all about what's in the system, since he is quite good at his job.
Mm-hmm. I did put it in, but just making sure that it's been confirmed. Now,
The other thing, on this Vesper as well, the information that you have already gave us is very much appreciated. But we also would like to know if you feel like you have any information that could be beneficial in the recapture of Mr. Dante. And before you answer that question, we are prepared to offer you immunity in this case.
I can answer that for Miss Vesper. She's looking right at Mel Gordon when she says this, by the way.
go ahead, Miss Flint.
There's a little bridge not far out of town. I've seen him underneath it.
Huh.
Some of Miss Vesper's acquaintances, like Miss Lynn, tend to go in and out under that bridge for some reason. I've also seen a young boy that I've recently heard you guys locked up around that area, but he tends to run away when you approach him.
Yes. He's on the list as well.
See, note for players who do not know about this. The lawyer is referencing the prisoner that pretty much teleported from view.
Yeah. The little boy that Mel confronted. And that Blacke confronted.
Yeah. Well, Blacke didn't say a word.
Uh-huh. Possible location. Thank you, Miss Flint. That's good to know.
Let's get a warrant on that bridge.
Working on it.
Let's make sure the DA sees that.
At this, is he meeting the same DA that Mel might be thinking of? If it is, and they make that connection, it's like he'll actually smirk as he puts that in. Noted. Okay.
All right. Mr. Gordon, I have nothing further. If Mr. Gordon doesn't.
We'll have to check out that bridge. I don't really have much officially. What I had has been presented.
Well then, may my client collect what is hers and I take her home then, unless you have something else to discuss.
No, did you see Blacke leaning forward as he takes a business card out the holder on the desk as he extends it over to Lucy. No, that'll be all. But again, if anything else does come to mind, feel free to contact one of us. As he hands the card to her.
She'll nod.
And
I take the card.
and since there's one new, fairly new person officially in the room, Mel will actually pull a card out of his jacket and hand it to her, to Miss Flint. And if you have need of me, Miss Flint, give me a call. There's various contact information on there. Out of game note, he gives her the special card that also has his shadow name on it.
She will just look at the card and go, I don't need this, but thank you. I already know how to find you, Mr. Gordon.
I know you do, Miss Flint. Mutual acquaintance.
Oh,
But
you mean the handmaiden? No, I don't normally associate with her. Let's go, Lucy. We're done here.
As Miss Black has rose, as he goes to open the door for the two of them.
She'll actually pat Black on the shoulder, not like in an aggressive manner, just kind of like friendly. Try to relax some. You're tense, detective.
It's in my job to be tense.
So, do I need to go somewhere about the items for the church?
No, she's taking you to the front area to collect them.
Yeah.
She's just taking you out of the office. She's also giving Mel and Black a moment alone.
Mm-hmm.
So after the two of them have took their exit, Black will close the door back, the blinds being closed and the door being locked. So what do you think?
Okay. The kid is the one from our little interrogation before. I'm thinking it's the same thing. I know Dante. I know that they're almost the same thing. Have the same relationship. Lucy's clean. She no problem with her. I know Miss Flint passing.
As
She's
do I. She's dealing with Dawn's case.
yes, quite as well as let's say personal connections.
Less I know, happier I am. Just
Yep.
keep it professional.
Yeah. So yeah, Lucy's clean. I think next step is to go to the bridge and see if we
Yeah,
can
likewise, just like I said.
see if we can find our little friends. He grins when he says it.
But you know as well as I do, the moment we step on that bridge without a warrant, they're going to fry us.
True. I'll send this to every judge I know. See what they can do. See if one of them will bite. Probably will get it, but you never know.
Well, with everything we've got on this son of a bitch, we should be able to get it within minutes.
True. Just a matter of waiting. All right. What else? Oh, sorry about that. What? Oh,
Well,
just reading the text. Sorry about that.
No, tell you what, it's getting about lunchtime. Want to go grab a bite?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I know a nice little place. My treat. Yeah.
Yeah, sure thing. Come out of your salary. I'll make sure it comes out of your salary when you get that promotion.
Uh-huh. Not sure exactly how I feel about it. You know, you know what it was before I got here, but
yeah, you've been here as long as I have. If no one else goes to bat for you, I will.
Thank you. Oh gosh, sorry about the noise in the background, everybody.
Hey, it fits. We're in a police station.
It's fine. I was just typing out messages in the Google chat to Will.
Oh, okay.
But how would he know that? That's my thing. Did I miss something in that last scene, or?
Yeah, Lynn told you to ask Mel to go talk with the princess about Dante to you.
All right, I'll mention that to Mel then, as we're heading out.
So, Mel will actually straighten up. Finally, he gets a chance. He'll actually take off his jacket and sling it over his shoulder. Oh, that's better. All right, let's get out of here.
Which I'm shocked you're even wearing one.
Well, sometimes you gotta be official. It's a little cramped. At this, he actually reached to his collar and loosened his tie even. All right.
So, as Black closes the door behind him as he flips off the light. So about this princess.
Princess. Oh. What
Lynn
about her?
Lynn told me to ask you about her. Specifically, that I needed to meet her. I have no idea why. She did that thing she does with her face again when it got a little heated in her office. I'll leave it at that.
Oh. All right, completely off the record.
Wait, if that's the case, wait till we get in the car.
Okay. Sure.
But they'll yada 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 walk back downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Flint and Lucy are leaving with the items, wave goodbye to you. You will notice, though, Miss Flint has a car very nice for a lawyer's income. Extremely nice.
Lucy will not notice.
Lawyers do have nice cars.
Yeah.
I'm saying this is even with a lawyer's income, she should not afford a car this nice.
Let me guess, Bentley.
Yes.
Okay.
She doesn't come cheap. We'll just leave it at that. She doesn't come cheap.
No. Well, sometimes, but.
So as Black shuts the doors, you see he reaches up, turns off the police cam, turns off the audio on the police cam.
Yep.
So
Mel makes sure all of his apps are shut down and all that.
We go through, turn off all the electronics, turn off all the recording devices,
including a new app that he's installed recently, which shuts off the hardware that he's installed. Jess, I'll get up with you about the modifications on it. He's got a modification on his case. Anyway, okay, all that done. Mel finally looks over. All right, Jimmy. I know you hate being called that. That's why I called you that.
You think he actually grimaced at that name?
Uh-huh. She's a leech. Very old one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So the mayor's bought into all of this now. Okay.
The mayor is similar to what Lucy is. But we need to watch the princess. It's a little girl in the graveyard. Not the one that we deputized recently. It's not Catherine. Who is also similar to the mayor. And
Black, you can tell. But Black, you can tell Black is not believing a word of this.
Uh-huh. Yep, I know. And Mel just looks at him. He grins, knowing that he picks it up. He's like, "Yeah, I know. Talking out of my butt, huh?"
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. First, I know I've seen some crazy shit in this town, but is the whole damn town gone insane? I mean, you're believing. You've been talking about this crap for over a month. Now that the mayor is talking about this crap, they were talking about something about some monarchy shit at her office. I mean, it's either I've gone completely insane or Salem has.
Uh, it's been insane for quite a while. I can imagine. I'm just now noticing the insanity. And I think you've
Bad.
always been a little nutty yourself. And he grins again.
Say that last line again. You cut out.
Oh, you've always been a little nutty yourself. And he grins at him.
Well, let's be fair. As Black turns over the keys and they head out. Let's be fair. I make my living catching people who kill other people.
Yeah, have to be a little crazy to do what we do. And I make a living on catching people that rob banks and post things they shouldn't on the internet. Anyway, so yeah, he'll actually pull out his phone and open the one app he's okay with opening, Google Maps, and he'll get to his favorite restaurant and set it on the and like set it on the dash, set the phone on the dash. All right,
So
it's huh?
no Waffle House this time. No Waffle House this time.
Yes, I like the slum, but occasionally I like to have a bit of a better experience. It's it's not a super special restaurant, but it's like a old family restaurant that's very good on Italian. Like, yeah, they've got great manicotti actually. So good.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. And we closed the scene with them on the way to the restaurant.
You will eventually.